Hi, Tom. Are you able to hear me? Cancel. Start video. I'm gonna share my screen. Hi. I think, Tom, you're muted.
Okay, there you go.
How are you?
I'm doing good. What's going on here today? We're doing something with command, right?
We are doing, I'm going to show you how to send an email campaign.
An email campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, can you check something for me real quick? What are you seeing on your screen?
Well, I see a picture of you and me.
That's it? You're not seeing the screen share?
Uh, no, no, I've got my campaign opened up. Actually, I've got command opened.
Interesting. So I'm trying to see why is it that
Oh,
you're
so maybe that's, you know what? Maybe that's your screen. Yeah, I think that's your screen.
do
I
you
thought it was my command.
no no no
No, no, no.
do you see emails too and COVID-19 and real estate video
You're
snapshot?
right. You got
Okay,
it.
good. That's
Yeah.
mine. Huh.
I'm sorry.
No, no, that's fine. I was like, okay, we have a problem. I'm not able to show you because it's imperative that you see
Right.
it.
Welcome to my world.
No worries. How is everything with you?
So you minimized it again, so you can open it up wider again. You know, the green. Ah, there we go.
Yeah,
I guess I did.
yeah. I didn't do anything, so
All right, we're good.
okay, I'm gonna wait for a few more.
Yeah,
Someone else is coming up. Were you there on the Michael Putnam video thing yesterday?
I was there. I took a lot of notes.
Good. Did you like
Um, they're not here in front of me, but yeah.
it? Was it useful?
You know what? I kind of the first, he talked for an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think I would have been better off tuning in just the last half hour.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of that, yeah, I'm just saying, I think I got more out of that last half hour than I did the whole hour before that. So,
Yeah. Yeah,
but
I
you
had
know
to
what?
log off.
You
Yeah,
have to
I had yeah, I had to log off at about 1:55 because I had a dentist appointment. So,
yeah,
yeah, and there was no way that my dentist was coming to me, so I had to go. So,
yeah, yeah, they're pretty rigid with their rules, aren't they?
yeah, they are. But I think it's a good thing. At least that's what I feel. I'm still learning how to admit people when you're the host.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I'm just because when you came on, it said I had to admit you, so I wanted to make sure that I don't miss it this time.
sure.
All right. Guess we'll get started because in the interest of time, right? All right. So what I want you to do, I have to formally invite you, Tom. Thank you for coming to the campaigns,
Oh,
command campaigns. We might as well have some fun. Okay.
my
So
pleasure.
it's good to see you after a long time. So
Yeah.
the
And if you notice, I'm in my cubicle. I'm at the office,
I
and
didn't.
Rob
Yeah, oh,
and
I
Rob's
did not.
Rob's here too, my neighbor.
Oh, nice.
I can hear every word.
Yeah, so he's listening in.
You're listening and you're
Yeah,
snooping.
so don't say
Hey,
anything bad about Rob.
no. Hey, Rob. Oh my God, it makes me so happy. I didn't realize it. See, you get so tuned to what's happening around you. And I just thought, oh, that's a new monitor or picture behind you. You didn't have that the last time in your dining room. And I was like, oh, okay, nice. And I didn't realize, oh, it makes me so happy that you're at work. It makes
Yeah.
me nice. Nice. How do you feel?
Well, I've been here for the last. Actually, I wasn't here yesterday.
Hmm.
Um, well, I take that back. Two things. I was here yesterday morning, but my computer went flat. The battery was near zero, so I had to go listen to the Zoom thing at home. So I was kind of
Okay.
50-50 yesterday. But yeah, I've been here 3 days. This is my third day here in the office.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Well,
I'm,
welcome back.
so I'm going through my clients here one after another. I'm either calling them, texting them, or emailing them, um,
Just
or deleting them. So I've gone through quite a few and and sent out messages. I'm getting yeah. So at any rate,
all right. So what? Let's get started. So what
right.
I want you. So you're logged into your command. Are you?
Oh, I am, but I've got your screen up, right? So
You can always minimize that and open yours on the side so that you can work on it as I say it. It might be easier unless you want to take notes and then you want to go back. It's up to you. You can always look at the recording again. That's fine too. Maybe that might be easier for you to just look at the recording and then do it side by side. It's up to you. So,
yeah, I just want to go through it with you, and I'm going to take some notes.
okay,
And
awesome.
right,
Yeah. And should you have a question, feel free to stop me
yeah,
anytime. So, okay. So once we log into our command, I just want everyone to go to where your picture is, right on top, on the top right, where
yeah.
I am. Just go to settings.
You don't happen to have a headset, do you?
No, but I can turn it down.
Thanks.
So once you go to settings, you go to connect and make sure your marketing profile is updated because anything that comes when you start your newsletter, right, which is what we are going to do for the email campaign, everything is pulled from the marketing profile. So I want to make sure this is updated and maybe something has changed in the last 3 months that you want to update. So I always, every single time without fail, I go and make sure that marketing profile is okay before I do anything. So now that I've said that, let's go back. Now, now, So you see command campaigns on the left, the
Yep.
small thing which is like like a loudspeaker. So you
Hmm.
go there, and then what you do is, you know, um, this is where you actually do your email campaign. So it might be for different things. One is paid ads, which Donna, I believe, is doing on the 30th. So I am not dealing with that. I am only dealing with the email campaigns because I've done a few and I've got good engagement on that. So which is why I'm doing it. So now, until now, right, until last week, there was only for you to be able to send an email campaign, something has to be connected. So until now we didn't have command email. So now we have command email. So what I use is MailChimp. I still haven't played around with command email because I believe it got activated probably a week ago. So I haven't looked at it, as in looked at it, played around with it. So I will teach you how to do it from MailChimp, and I don't think it should be too different from for a command email as well. So you have two options. Even now, when you pick an email campaign, and I will show you how, it always gives you an option. Or do you want to do it through MailChimp, or do you want to do it through command emails? I believe command emails is 5,000 is the limit, and whereas your MailChimp is only 2,000 emails per month, and it resets every month for you. And one more thing about MailChimp is you cannot have multiple lists. You can have only one list that you can send it to. And say, for example, you want to send something else within 7 days, you cannot send another one. You have to wait out that 7 days and send another one. And if you want another list, you need to delete this list and reconfigure another list on MailChimp. So that is the only disadvantage. And apart from that, what else have I found with MailChimp? So it comes out pretty well. I can show you an example of what I've been sending, and I'll show you how to do it, which is why we are here. Any questions until now?
Okay. Good.
Okay, good. Okay, great. And so I spoke about command email. And okay, so what can be sent in email campaign? So what I do is I send out a market update as part of my newsletter. So there are two kinds of newsletters. One is the long version, which has probably about, say, for example, 4 or 5 sections. And I felt that was an overkill to be sending out every 2 weeks or 3 weeks to my database. So what I did was I picked the shorter one, which is just 3 sections. Essentially means that you can choose 3 things to put on there. That's what it means. So what I do is I send out a market update, which the video of which I shoot separately, I edit out separately, and I link it to my YouTube where my video actually is. I upload my edited video to YouTube, and then I connect it to my this page, and I'll show you how it sounds a little complex, but actually if you break it down, it's pretty easy. You just need to get everything ready and link everything and do it. So I send out, so my first section is always a video. So, and when they click on the video, it takes them to a landing page on my website, not to my YouTube. Because in YouTube, what do all of us do? Once we go to something, say we start seeing one video, then there's another that pops up, we go there. And then there's another that pops up, we go there. So we are all over the place. And my first video was on YouTube. My first market video, which I sent out, I believe May beginning. That's when I started doing videos. It was on YouTube, and then I realized from the second time, I want people to kind of stay on my website. So I thought about the landing page idea, and I found a way to connect my video from my YouTube to my landing page so that they stay on my landing page. And just like YouTube, if they find something, they might want to go and check something, maybe the blog that I have on uh, on my site. Now, Tom, are you able to see this? I
Yes.
changed my screen. Okay, so you see my face.
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, so I have somebody waiting. Admit. Okay, I'm getting good at this. I'm so thrilled with myself. Hey, Tina. Okay, she's connecting. So, okay, so you see this, right? This one is my landing page, just to give you an idea. and I'll show you. So for example, so oh, this is my YouTube. So this is my website. So when they go here, I have all these things. I have, reviews. I have my blog. What about schools? What about Keller Mortgage? About me? Why Keller Williams? Why should they choose Keller Williams? So I want them to stay on the website, which is why I thought landing page was a good idea. And that's to give you a little background as to why I just didn't um, have it stay on YouTube. YouTube is good for views, but I do want them to explore my website and find out what else I have there. So, questions? Anything until now?
No.
Okay, great. All right. So, apart from, so what I do is my first thing is always a video. And then I usually, since we are all sheltering in place and people have had instances of feeling a little depressed, down, and stuff, I always have one article which talks about taking care of yourself or something that we should be thankful about, something I'm grateful about. So it might be as simple as my one of my things was a picture on my walk every day. There's these bunch of kids who made a thank you for all the frontline workers. It's just a white board with all these markers in kids' handwriting saying thank you, thank you. So I took a picture of that and I said this was on my on my morning walk today, and I really liked it. And I thought, since all of us are in this together, I think we should all be grateful. And this is a classic example of what everyone is feeling, and it's so nice. So something very simple, but something that will speak to everyone. So that's what I was looking for. And my third article can be anything between, five easy dishes to cook from whatever is available in your pantry, or what are how can you keep yourself fit, or mentally fit, or physically fit. What are the five do it yourself projects at home to keep children under 5 occupied, something like that. Anything that you think, and it's a trial and error thing, so you have to do it at least a few times for you to figure out if this is something that will interest people. And you can also reach it. I would encourage you to reach out to them once you send it across and say, hey, you know what, did you receive it? What did you think? What is your feedback? Would you want me to include something in that would be helpful? So those are some things that I do, and it's over a period of 2 months that I fine tune whatever I send out. Questions? Hi, Tina. Are you able to hear us? I guess you're muted, my dear. All right, I will wait for her to answer. Okay, so you can send different things. You can send
There you
send.
go.
Okay, great. Welcome.
There you go. Thank you.
Okay, good. So we can send articles like what I spoke about. You can link any URL, and you can send any URL. You can send just listed, just souls, anything at all. All we need to do is just get a little creative, and we'll be able to send it out. And you can, I believe, you can also send market neighborhood snapshots that we say, for example, if you create lists, for instance. Say you have a list which is exclusively for your buyers in the San Jose area. If that is your list, then you can create a neighborhood snapshot of a few neighborhoods, and probably one of your email campaigns will just be that. Focusing. Here is San Jose's neighborhoods in a snapshot. Top San Jose neighborhoods in a stop. In a snapshot. Something like that. Anything that you want to send is possible. You just need to see if that is something that your sphere wants to hear about. All right, so let's see what else I have. So let me show you. So I have one. So I'm going to try and show. I have one draft which I will work on and show you. But here, so you're able to see my screen, right? Just to make sure before I keep going.
Yes.
Okay, great. Just let me see if somebody else is waiting. Okay, great. So you see this create new campaign right on top?
Yes.
Click that. So you have different campaigns. One is a social post, which just as long as, and I believe most of you will be connected to your Facebook business page for your social post, and you can schedule your social post through in here as well. And the other one is a search ad, which is on Google, which I haven't tried. A social ad, which is basically your Facebook command ad, which Donna will be doing on the 30th. So that is what she'll be covering. I will not be covering this today. Today is mainly email. So I'm going to click on email and now. So let's enter a campaign name. Let's say test campaign. All right. Now, now I always choose brand awareness because I want to be top of mind. That's what I want to be able to do. Now, if you're actually sending something about your listing, say for example, one is a video of you talking about your upcoming listing, the second one is one picture, and the third one is something about interest rates. Why is it a great time to buy? So say this is your newsletter that you want to plan to send out, then you might be actually doing advertised listing. Or I do brand awareness. So let's just do that. And I'm going to try, let's say MailChimp. Okay. Or have any of you figured out command email as yet or no?
No, I found a way around it.
Okay. Okay. So are you using MailChimp?
I'm just using Gmail,
Okay.
and I just put, say I send it out to 200 or 300 people, I put all their names in blind copy.
Oh, so it's not, okay, I
So
get it.
I don't want someone to open his email and have 100 other email addresses he can access.
Got it.
So when you send all those emails under blind copy, people don't see
Yeah,
everyone else's.
yeah, I know that. It's just that so it's just an email. So it's
Yes.
not like a newsletter. That's what I meant. Okay, got it.
And it can have a newsletter in it. Yes.
Okay, okay, got it. So you do the newsletter separately and you just put it in your email. You just embed it.
Right.
Got it. Okay, okay, no worries. So I'm going to do it via MailChimp. So let's say setup campaign. All right. So this is how it looks. So yeah, my thing is, brand awareness. My test campaign, I'm using MailChimp. Now, my next job now that command email is in effect and it's working is to
Oh,
start
good.
using command email. Okay.
Yes.
So
Okay.
this is your Meera. I mean, this is my account. So, and then you should have, if you have already configured a list, you should have a mailing list here. I have named it mailing list. You might have it something like, BIOS 2020 or your A list or your B list or your C list. It could be anything. And you can also create a list here. Now,
So,
so I'm going to.
hold up for a second.
Mhm.
So you're creating this list. How did, so, I got 1,500 people, all right? And
Mhm.
so I've got them all as part of different groups, right? For
Okay.
example, there's Mets last year, there's Mets this
Okay.
year. But I want to put them all in one group into this one list. So how can I pull those people in without putting them in there one at a time? Can I just pull groups over? Or,
So you'll have to first create groups inside of command, and then I believe if you choose um, okay, you haven't done through MailChimp, have you, Tom?
so if for example, let's just say I wanted to send something out just to the vendors, all right? So I have a vendor list. Can I just pull
Uh-huh.
in this area, select vendor list?
So the thing is, so this mailing list that you see here,
Yeah.
the reason why it's a mailing list is because I have my command connected to my MailChimp, and I have a list on MailChimp
Oh,
already uploaded using their template
okay.
CSV. So you have to do a little bit of groundwork. And for that, that's a separate class. So all you need to do is figure out in command, how to upload a CSV list to MailChimp. But now that command email is there, if you haven't done that, I would highly recommend you to do it on command. It's easier. Because now, until now, I was using MailChimp. Take me as an example. I was using MailChimp all this while. Now that command email has come, now I have to sit and configure my list inside of command now. So now that command email is there, don't go into MailChimp. You're better off just doing it in command. And I believe the Marty Miller YouTube channel has Oh, just a second. Um, YouTube channel has should have a video which shows how to configure list. Make your own list inside of command email. I'm sure there will be tons and tons of videos coming up now that now that command email is on. People will start asking, "Hey, how do I make different lists?" So that will start coming out. So for you to start making lists, from what I know, from for you to start making lists inside of command, all you need to do is first start tagging people. Say they are a buyer, they are a seller, like you're met, you're not met, warm, hot, cold lead. So many things. Open house, so many things. So once you start, and if you have 1,500 and you haven't tagged them, I would I would suggest that you start tagging, because you can chunk it down probably about, say, 25 to 50 every single day, or even more if you can, and start tagging them so that it's easier for you to make those lists as you move along. Make sense?
So yeah, I have them tagged down. All right.
Okay. Okay.
So
Then
when I
then
call
all
in
you need
groups,
to do is,
yeah, they're tagged. I've got buyers, sellers. I've got met people that I met door knocking, that kind of thing. So I've got them in separate tags, and so, but
okay. So
uh,
now let me show you one more thing. Since okay, so um just a second, I'm just okay. Okay, so here when you say configure list, so here I have one which is already configured, like my mailing list, but that comes from my MailChimp. Now, if you want to create a list, say create list, give your list a name and your default email address, which is your KW, or if you choose to use a Gmail, whatever that is, default from name, your add contact. Now, if you have contacts, this is where you add them, and that's how you build your list. And this is going to take a while, especially given the number of contacts that you have. So this is how you do it, and then you save the list. Now, is there a way where you can bulk add them? I'm sure there is. It's just that I haven't looked into it. So that is one thing for you to know. Now let's go back to this. Okay, so so that's how. So once you initially set up, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to do. You have, for example, you have a draft here. Okay, let me go back to this. Okay, you're doing an email. I'm going to do a test. I'm going to do brand awareness, and I'm going to do MailChimp. It shouldn't make too much of a difference as far as what we do. Set up campaign. Okay, great. So now I'm going to configure this list. That is something that I have. The rest of it, it doesn't matter right here. Okay, so let's say test campaign for gateway. All right. So now I'm going to save it as a draft because I don't want to lose anything that I'm doing. So save and exit. Yes. So so whatever you've sent should be here as it is showing for me. So now, for instance, so you see the three dots right here?
Yes.
Okay, so you see the three, just
yes,
go there,
yes,
just
Okay.
edit
Yes.
campaign, all right? So once you do edit campaign, it says email preview. We don't have anything because we haven't picked a design template yet, all right? So, so this is a common bug that I see. See this recipients list, it says no options, and I just picked it. I just picked it in the last screen, right? So what you do is go to select account, your your email will show up, click it again, then go here, it will show up. It's just a bug and they haven't fixed it yet. That's it. So select design content. See this right at the end of your page? Pick that, and these are the two newsletters templates that's available. This one, newsletter style one, is the longer one, which I said has 5 sections, and I thought it was an overkill, and I didn't want to bombard people with so much. So I picked newsletter two, and this is how it looks. It doesn't have anything at all it has is header and footer, and it has your information here. Now if you see anything here which is not the right information, just go back to the templates, save and exit, go to your marketing profile, make sure that it's updated before you come back and start doing stuff here. Because sometimes after all you do, you figure out that something is not right, then you need to go back. You can still save and exit and go back, but you're better off just doing it. Okay, now that I've shown you where these templates are, I'm going to go back. Yes, so I want to go here. Okay, now that's a draft. I'm gonna, okay, now this one. So this is something that will be going out for me probably by Monday. My next newsletter will be going. So these are the ones that I mailed as an emailed through MailChimp, and it shows me, how much are the views. So the clicks, everything doesn't show up because it wasn't through command email. It shows up in MailChimp stats for me. The advantage of using command email is everything will be integrated here. And you can see, how many people opened it, how many clicks were there any bounces, were there any soft bounces, hard bounces, what was the goal, and stuff like that. So I am going to go here and show you what I have done so that you have an idea what all it can be. Okay, so here you see the basic information. Say I want to update my design. I have something in there, but I want to change something. Let's say I want to change something. So now this is the video I was talking about. And I'll talk a little bit about what I do for the video. And all the information that you see here, see, click above for episode 3, what are the contents of this episode, blah, 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 and stuff like that. Everything is on the right. I have everything input here. So what I did is the first time that I did this, I just inputted everything. I thought about it. I inputted everything. And after that, I just use the same template again and again. I change a few things here and there, and boom, I send it out. It takes a little time the first time because your learning curve is a little steep, but then you'll get used to it like this. So, okay, so everything that you see on the left is inputted on the right. That's what it is. It just shows, the left just shows you how it looks and how it will look to people. And these buttons are, everything is customizable. For instance, I can take it out completely and it goes back to what it was by default. So I can say click here to now what did I do? So click here to know more about me. So I can just about do whatever I want, and then it says button copy 1, and it shows up in the black button on the left. And the CTA link, I actually linked it to about me on my website. So when they click it here, for instance, say I click it here, it actually goes to about me so that people can just go from there. Questions?
Pretty cool.
Okay, now let's go. All right, so I was telling you, so my first thing is always a video. Now when I click here, so it says it sees a play button, right? So most people, what they do is when they see the play button, we go and click on it. That's how we've been, thanks to YouTube, that's how our minds have been wired. So anything with a play button, we click it. And that was the idea. I wanted people to click it. Now when they click it, I actually developed a landing page on my website so that they would be taken to my page and not my YouTube channel. Now, here I configured it such that it shows all my episodes until now. So when they see it, they say, oh, wow, she did another one. I want to see that too. Oh, there's another one. I want to see that too. So now, will it be possible for me to host 15 episodes here? Probably not, given the feasibility, but I haven't come to that yet. And I will do something when I get there. So for now, probably I will start moving those past episodes to a separate landing page on my website. So that's what I'm planning. So this landing page is the reason, and for people who came in a little, who joined us a little later, I was telling Tom that the reason why I don't have my YouTube link here is because Once you're on YouTube, you see something else, some other video, you go click on it, and then you see some other video. So we are all over the place once you go there, because our mind is, I mean, the focus, the let's say, the attention span that we have is pretty less. So we are able to see, we keep seeing a video, and then we already are earmarking another video to see once we finish it. But I wanted them to do that on my website and not on YouTube. I don't want to give business to some other realtor whose related videos come up, because I cannot stop that. So I developed a landing page here where I have all my stuff. Now, if, for example, I send this email to Tom. So he starts seeing it, and then he says, oh, okay, so let's see. I'm going to search my neighborhood. And he types in something here on top, and he starts searching properties, and then he starts favoriting properties, and suddenly he wants to go see my blog. Okay, what does she have in her blog? Let me read. Oh, smart homes and mesh networks. Let me read that. So that's what we want people to do. We want people to stay on our websites and see what can be done. Questions? Okay. All right. So now, as far as video goes, I will tell you, I'm not going to go too much into what I did the video with and stuff like that. So I just used my phone. I had a tripod, and I make sure that there is good lighting. I usually have, you know what, I have natural light as much as possible. I do it facing the window, but not enough where I kind of look like a mummy, where I'm kind of plastered with white light. I make sure that, I always have a side view, so that one part of my face has light and the other one has a little bit less light. It's just very appealing to the eye. So put it on a tripod, shoot your video however you want it. Ideally, in a landscape mode and not in a vertical. Okay, let me show. Are you guys able to see, or? Okay, so not in this mode, but more so in this mode. That's because, here something on the sides might be cut. So this way you are fully seen, and people don't need to see your pajamas, right? I mean, everybody is in pajamas now, so people don't need to see that. So I usually do it in the landscape mode. Now, do it, and I use an editing software where, because I'm going to say I'm going to forget something, I'm going to reshoot it, and I'm not going to go and stop and re-record and stop and re-record. So I don't do that. I just do it in one shot, and then I edit it out however I want it. And sometimes when I review it, I'm like, oh, you know what, maybe the sentence isn't good, so I have to edit it, move things around. And I use iMovie on Mac, and that's a free software that comes. So if you're on a Mac, you might, and it's very easy to use. So I edit out the movie, and I don't do a voiceover on my video. So whatever my phone picks up, and I use my AirPods, which has a mic, or you can use a lapel mic, which is available for I believe $10 or $15 on Amazon, and it's extremely good. It gives you the clarity. So make sure that you're not too far away from the phone if you're doing a live phone recording as well. So once we do it, I package it. I have an intro and an outro with my intro is usually saying, COVID-19 and real estate episode 4 or 3, or, updates as of this date and stuff like that. I have a black background, and I have that. And then it has my logo. And then I always have something of value, like, how can you help small businesses? Or, during Mother's Day, I did a socially distanced Mother's Day hug to you for those of you who are mothers, and what, kudos to you for doing all that you do. And for Father's Day, it was the same. And then I have my video, and I have my outro saying, hey, any questions or concerns, call me, and my information with my license number, San Jose Gateway, and my logo as well. So that's it. That is what the video is about. Now, once I do, I believe all of you should have your account connected to your YouTube, where you have access to upload it. Upload your video on YouTube. Now, this is my channel on YouTube. Now, say this is my latest video that I uploaded, and now when you want this to show up in a landing page, for instance, what I do is I click share. Are you
Hi,
able to see?
this is Meera with Keller
Yes.
Williams.
Sorry.
Oh, yes.
I'm
Consult of
going
COVID-19.
to, okay, I'm going to mute it. Okay. So when I click share, it has different things. Now, the thing that you see here is the public URL that you can share with anyone that you want. Now, if you wanted to show up on your website or you wanted to show up on your landing page anywhere else where you want, for example, I think your embed button will also work if you want to embed it in your email. Although I haven't tried it. Tina, if you're doing emails, this might be a good way for you. You might want to test it out on yourself first, just to make sure. What you do is you click the embed button, you get an iframe code here. Copy that code and just say copy. I'm just going to say copy. Okay, now let's go back to edit. So now how are we going to embed it here? So for that, you need to get a landing page done. Let's see if I'm able to. Okay. So now when you are back in your main command, you go to consumer right here on the left. Once you click that, you are able to see landing pages, agent site pages, guide builder. Let's say, um, let's say create a new site. It gives you two options. One is on my agent site and one is as a standalone page. You want it as a on my agent site. It's not like you're doing a giveaway and you want somebody to come in, give them your information that you want it outside of your website. You want it in your website. So let's say on my agent website, you create a page. Now, let's say test June 25th. All right. So now body, let's see, I'm just going to show. Um, let's say agent profile. I can drop whatever I want, and then you say, let's say content blocks, widgets. Okay. Let's say I want a contact form as well. So after that, I have a contact form, and then I have layout blocks. Now, say I say configure widgets, agent profile, now agent bio, and all those things. So this is, so if you, because right now this class, I cannot go over how to make a landing page because there are a few videos on YouTube through KW Connect as well. One is Lori Ballen, Loribalen. I will put her name in, where is the chat box? Okay, great. So one is Lori Ballen on YouTube. You can just search her up. Now, the other one is Marty Miller and John Morris. John Morris, I think most of you will be familiar with. So all of these people, you can search them up on YouTube, and they have some excellent videos on how to do a landing page. Have any of you done landing pages for anything at all? Sorry, I'm not able to hear you.
No, I haven't.
Okay. Tom, I guess you also haven't done a landing page.
I had you off. I'm sorry.
Have you done a landing page at all?
No.
Oh,
Okay.
probably.
Okay, great.
No.
All right. So, so for instance, right? So what happens is when
Yeah.
you have a
Yeah.
landing page done,
Mom
you
was
have that video connected on the landing page, and then you can edit it out here, for instance. Okay. Then, so if you think video is a little complex for you, one thing you can do is start sending out
Yeah, it's putting
articles.
HOA was going 320 annually. It's not bad.
Hey Tom, is there a way? Oh, Okay, thank you. Okay, so if video is a little complex, you can start out by sending just articles where you can, just configure it here. So this is already filled in for you. The header and footer comes directly from your marketing profile right here. So this is something, and you just make sure that it has the right information. And then your email title for this might be something like, um, it might be something. There was this once when I actually sent out a link to CDC's guidelines because everybody was concerned about, what do we do? Things keep changing, and I said we all are, managing to live in this new norm as we move ahead. And so CDC is something that I keep referring to all the time, just to make sure that I'm compliant, especially since it's a client-facing job and we take your safety as seriously as our own. So this is something that I sent. So it can be as simple as a CDC website or something to do with. You can also send, to make it easier the first time, try sending the market update that Keller Williams puts out every month. So that is an easy way to just send it because the link is already there. So all you need to do is take that code and put it in here and make sure that it works. And the best part about this is all these buttons that you see on the left, it actually works. You can test it out. It's not like you don't have to think, oh, you know what, does it actually work? Actually it works, so you can actually test it out right there. Now the Forbes article that I had linked to is this. So the best thing about newsletters is you can actually test it out right there. So what are the tips to working from home? So this is actually happening. It actually takes you to that and lets you test the link to make sure that you don't want your clients to be clicking on something and then finding out that, oh, it's not working. So this part, these sections are completely customizable for you, and you can do whatever you want. So what I did was, when I did my first newsletter, I actually just sent it to a friend and myself and then got feedback because I wanted to see how it looked on my email and the way it looked on my email, so that I could open it, I could play around with it and see what I didn't like. So I did this 2 days prior to actually sending it out to my entire 800 of the people that I'd selected to send it out to. And I had great engagement as well. I had people tell me that, hey, you know what, actually we didn't know that those were the things that were happening in the market. And I was like, yeah. And they said, we hear different things in the news. Sure. And that's why I'm here. Now, questions. Any questions at all?
For them prices.
Yeah,
you can
Vera, I'm
afford
just going to have to
air
dig in it and do a couple, and then I'll have some questions for you then, I'm sure.
Absolutely, anytime. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly show you on this test one. For example, I also wanted to touch on this. See this 3 dots that you see, and you see duplicate campaign. So every time, so this was my first one, May 17th was my first one. So once I finished that, what I did was I just went there and no, uh, before you publish it, just go to the 3 dots and just duplicate campaign and give it another name. So this way you don't have to go and reinvent everything. All you need to do is just do edits here and there. And because um, the more standardized, for lack of a better word, the more standardized you are, the more your clients kind of can depend on you. There's something, just a second.
That's a good tip.
Yeah, because what I realized was this happened from my Facebook post that I do for my music and real estate. So now what I do is I create templates for just about anything, irrespective of whether it's my personal music post or it's my real estate post. For everything, there is a template that I use. Because the minute they see that tag, they know that, oh, you know what, this is a music post. Okay. Oh, you know what, this is something probably that she sold. So the more and more people see that, that is also a mind share. At least that's how I see it. So once you duplicate the campaign, it just shows up as a different one, and just rename it so that you don't get confused which one is which. For example, when I did the episode 3, I duplicated it, and that is what this is. I still haven't edited it. That's my next one going out on Monday. And I already renamed it for so that I don't get confused at all. Now, before I let you go, the last 10 minutes, since you guys don't have any questions, I'm going to quickly show you, what do you mean channel?
Edit.
Interestingly, it's asking me to connect a channel. What do they mean by connecting a channel? I believe it's having a bug because it's not letting me edit. Oh, now it's letting me edit. Okay, great. Okay, so now I'm just going to go back. Yes, okay, now. So command is still making a lot of changes every single day. So if you feel like, you know what, something is not working or it's hanging upon you, what I would suggest is just log out, give it a couple of minutes and log back in. Like now it said that, you know what, a channel wasn't connected because everything was connected. So I'm going to show you on edit. Okay, now I have it. So now see this bug which I showed you, it says no list is available because I know for a fact list is available. So I went and did that, and now I can see a list. Now I'm going to select a design. I'm going to choose number 2. Now this is what, so whatever I worked on is the result of what you saw on mine. This is how it looked right at the beginning, and then I worked on it. So now let's quickly work on something so that, okay, let's do an email title. um, Test campaign for gateway. Email subtitle, look at this group. Okay, section 1. So as you keep doing, you see that you can actually see how it looks in an email and how it will look in that embedded email. Now section 1, headline, let's see. um, how are the interest rates doing today? So this is what it came. So say for example, let me find something, interest rates today. Say for example, say there is something on lending tree that you want to send. Okay, this is not a good article. Okay, what are today's rates on Quicken Loans? Okay, okay, great. Type of loan. Okay, let's say for instance, for the showing sake, okay, so this is what I saw. Now I'm going to go back here. So see the CTA, section 1 description. Let's say take a sneak peek at the rates as of June 5th. Okay, so say for example you have a photo. Let's figure out, let's say you have a photo to do that, and then you would put the photo, and I would highly recommend you to look for free stock images on Google. And I believe designs also has a list. So for example, for once when I sent out something on interest rates, I had this free stock image of dollars and pennies and everything, you know what, and a house right behind, something to give them, because people love videos and images. So make sure that you get a free stock image and you do it, and then read about, click here to see current interest rates. And then in the CTA link, remember the link that I actually copied goes here. Now let's test it out. For example, I'm just going to drag and drop an image for you, something. I don't know what I'll do. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to do this. just, it's my picture. I don't have any other picture for now. Okay, let's say I'm going to do my picture, for instance. I'm going to say, um, okay, let's say I do this. Let's say crop image, all right? So now, so this might show as anything for you. Now, oh, sorry, I shouldn't have clicked on that. Where is this? Okay, great. So, um, so when you have a link here, you can actually have the link here as well. So now, if I click on this, it takes me to the article on Quicken Loans. So all it needs is you need to have some placement image, some placeholder image, and then just link it to something else so that they will go and click on it. Now, they can also click on this. Now, in mine, both are completely two different ones. The button that you see here, the black button, actually takes them to my website, whereas this actually took them to my video. So you can configure it however you want. And now it shows you, what is linked here and all those things. Similarly, you can go to section number 2, have a picture or a video, and have your section 2 headline. So each one is a separate thing. So this is what a newsletter is all about. And you work your way through each section and make sure this is what you want it to be. And then you say for example, apply design. All fields are filled in. Okay, so we have to fill in everything, and then it will give you the option to save it. And once saved, um, you can actually say, send it. Just try sending it to yourself, and probably somebody else who can give you feedback. I believe, I mean, I sent it just to myself, and I think another time sent it to a friend and myself, and it was good because I could see how it actually looked on my email. And just wait for a couple of minutes, and always have yourself on the list, because when you send it out, you always get a copy, and you need to get a copy so that you know
Yes.
how it actually looks to you.
Oh yeah, you do. You do.
All right. What else? So there are only 3 parts to sending out an email campaign. One is pick what you want to send. It can be a combination of videos and articles. It can be your just listed, your just solds, pendings. Um, you know, maybe you could even send, say somebody gave you your, say you had 2 that just sold, and you had a glowing review from somebody. Probably you can do that too. Have a picture of the home with a scribble saying just sold. You can do it in designs or Canva or something, and put that, and put here what others have to say about working with me. That should be your headline, and have post what. So you can get as creative as you want in this. So the first part is figure out what you want to send. Second one is make sure that the once you have it, have a text or a notepad. The way I work is I have a template ready, put on I will show you. So um, oh, you can't see this for some reason. Okay, looks like I'm not able to share that window for some reason. So what I do is I usually put everything is a template, as I said. So I have a template, and I decide ahead of time, okay, this time I'm going to send this article, or this time I'm going to send, I have to find an article which, touches upon taking care of yourself mentally and physically, or do it yourself exercises, 5 top exercises to keep yourself fit, or your 5 meditation techniques to keep yourself happy and sane when you're at home, working from home. What are the top 5 tips to work from home effectively? How do you uh, keep your working space tidy? Because some of them have a problem with, because for me, I'm an OCD, so I have to keep everything in its place, and anything which is out of this thing, my son changes something, then I get mad. So that's how I am. So for each person, so and what are the best ergonomics, right? Ergonomics to work from home, because we have lost the ability to go into our workspaces, sit there, and people. And for example, I am a classic example of finding it tough to work from home because I don't have my chair and I don't have the right table height. So ergonomics is important to me. So I've found workarounds to make that happen. So I'm sure if I'm going through it, I'm sure 100 more others are going through it. So
Sweet.
yeah, simple articles that will speak to people. It doesn't have to be complex. It could be a blog that you follow on cooking, for instance, or an Instagram account that you follow on cooking that you could link. Never link another realtor though. I wouldn't. I would highly recommend you again doing, not doing that. But otherwise, you know what? Because and if you have a small business, you could give a shout out to small businesses too. If you like them, give a shout out on one of your newsletters. Say that, hey, you know what? This restaurant right down the street from mine are struggling, and they are a great restaurant. It's really sad. So any of you who's in the neighborhood, please visit them and make sure that you also send it to the owner of the thing so that they know that you're working for them. So those are all, you can get as creative as you want with newsletters. It all depends on what you want to send. So figure out what you want to send. Make sure that you have the links, everything, put in a notepad. Like for instance, if you're going to feature this food blog, say food blog and put the link right away. And this is the pre-preparation to whatever you're going to be doing. So once you have everything in one place, then you're not all over the place going searching for, oh, you know what, I had this window open, oh man, I lost that article, I closed it by mistake, and you don't know where you searched it for. So if you see something, or even if it's a potential, now newsletters are something that you want to continue to send to your database, or anyone that you meet, over a period of time. You keep sending, basically you just want to stay top on mind, so keep sending it to them. So none of these articles that you see are going to go completely unusable. It's not going to be like, oh, you know what, it might not fit this time. Sure, but what about next time? So if you want, you can even do an Excel sheet with all the links so that you can go back and refer to them and say, hey, you know what, this is not something that I could use last time, but this time I think it's perfect. Maybe it's summer, maybe it's fall. I'll send them a few baking recipes. So what about spring cleaning? What about, fall is coming? What about winter? What about, gutter cleaning? All those things, right? Anything and everything can be sent. And if you're not part of Homekeeper, Homekeeper is a free service where you can get an account. They have tons and tons of blogs. So the blog that you see in mine, for instance, say, for example, and all these have been configured by me. So you see my blog, and this is not something that I do. This is from Homekeeper. All I do is I've embedded, like what I did for YouTube. I've embedded that into this so that it shows up as if you know what I've done it.
What
But
is
then
it called again, Meera?
um,
Home.
let me put it on the chat.
Thank you. I mean, they look really good.
Oh yeah, they do the job. It's not okay. So it's home. I believe this is how it's spelled. I'm trying to see where I find it. Actually, let's click on one of those and it should. Oh, there you go. It's HOMEKEEPR. Actually, it's
Without the E. Okay.
yeah. All right. So these things, right? So all these things you can choose. So now, so one is find out what you want to do, then be diligent about what you want to send. And it's not like you want to send something out tomorrow, there's a pre-preparation involved. You just can't think that day on what you want to send, because then it doesn't look professional enough. I hope that makes sense. So once you put in a little thought into it, so it can be your articles must be able to cover different genres. Like one could be on finance because you are a real estate person. So what does it mean to them? Why should they be reading your article about what the housing market is doing? They want to know about the housing market. So send something on real estate, finance, interest rates. You can do round robin and send one time, and alternate between different kinds of real estate stuff. One could be on investments. One could be on what do you need to know if you're going to be selling in this market. Just do something like a sellers, and there are tons and tons of available material, so you could do that. So figure out what you want to do, make sure that you have all the links set up in one place so that when you start working on your newsletter, all you need to do is copy paste the right ones. and figure out. You can even think about it and write down, okay, this is going to be the heading for this, this is going to be the heading for this. So this way, when you actually sit on the newsletter, it just goes off like this and you don't spend more time than necessary. Make sense? All right, so that is one. And I already spoke about the notepad. The next thing is you have to learn. I would highly suggest that you do a landing page to feature your videos. As and when you're doing it, try the landing page more than the YouTube link. I know YouTube gives you views, but you can always do the YouTubes on your YouTube links on your social media if you want to, which is what I do. So I would highly suggest doing it on your landing page, a landing page on your website, so that people who end up coming to your landing page spend more time on your website and hopefully end up signing for signing up for an account where you are maybe they see something that they like and they're like, huh, this is actually nice, maybe I should buy a house now. So that's the ultimate aim, for them to be able to see more of you and what you do and how you've set up your website, because that speaks to what you are, right? So landing page, and I already put up on the chat box as to who you can follow on. So what you can do is go to YouTube, or you can go to KW Connect as well. Although on YouTube you have a few, I follow a few of them, so and they are really good. So, and I typically don't just see one video and start doing it. I check out a few videos to figure out what each one does differently, and mine is always a concoction. It's a like a melting pot. So I kind of take a little bit from everywhere and I do what works for me. So Lori Ballon, Marty Miller, John Morris on, oh, and Nick Baldwin. Oh, I forgot him. So he's really awesome. And Tristan. So I will put those, okay, there you go. I will put those names too. So all of them are on YouTube. And Tristan, oh, Tristan, blah, blah.
Can't see what you're typing. What is Tristan? What are those names you're talking about? Oh, thank you. Thank you. I can see it.
So those are some people you can follow, and you can find how to make a landing page. I believe I followed, it was a combination of Lori Ballon and John Morris is who I followed. So I checked out all these people, and pretty much everybody said the same thing except that John Morris and Lori Ballon did something different, which I liked. So I put my spin on it, and I tried something else, which was embedding on my video on my landing page. That's what I did.
Meera, how do you spell their names? Since you did the research, I'd like to go to the ones you liked.
I've already put it on chat. You should be able to see it.
But I don't see chat at all.
You should
Oh,
be.
now I lost you too. Oh, oops, yeah, I lost it. I don't see you either now. Oh well.
Yeah, it should be on chat. Let's see if I can do it. Okay, Lori.
I think I've got to get. I have to join again. Sorry, Meera. Okay.
All right. So, and the last one is, you know what? Once you have all this, step 2, which is landing page creation, and then you go to your newsletter, which is your campaigns. Start your campaigns, create a new campaign, pick a new style. I would, for ease of doing it and the number of sections you have to fill, unless you have more material to share, I would suggest newsletter style number 2, because it has only 3 sections, and it's send it out, get a feel for what people think before you start sending out longer ones. So that's about what I had. Any questions as of now? I know you probably you can start playing around with it and come back to me with questions. I'm going to I know all of you have my contact information, but I will still put it here. Okay, there you go. Text and emails work best. Calling might be tad slower for me to get back to, but I will get back to you. So questions, anything anything at all that any comment? Hope this was useful. At least get you started somewhere. So
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yes.
Thanks. It opened my eyes to a few things I wasn't aware of being able to do, and I've got some work cut out for me.
okay, good. This email campaign, right? It also you know it's also part of my 36 touch, by the way. So you can make it part of your 36 touch because I do it every 2.5 weeks. So anywhere between every 15 to 20 days, I do one of these newsletters, and it definitely has a market update video as well. So it also is integrated into my 36, 39, whatever 42 touch. It doesn't matter, and that serves as one of it as well.
Okay, I have to go mainly
Yes, me
because
too.
I got a call while we were doing.
I hope
It's a
it's
good friend of mine back in Chicago, and I want to call him back just in
all
case.
right. Sounds good. All right, ladies, I will see
All
you.
right, guys.
And gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you. Bye
Bye.
bye.
You have a great day. Bye.